And how do I stop? How do you put a block in all this mass incarceration? And I'm a student of history. I read a lot. Oh, I found bumped into something. Well, a couple of things actually. Um, I bumped into this thinking that about we need. You heard of the Harlem Renaissance, which actually started out as the new Negro movement, and it developed into the Harlem Renaissance. Even though it entailed black people doing miraculous things with culture and music all over the country, it became the Harlem Renaissance because that was the capital of Black America back in the day. It's Harlem. Well, it still is somewhat Harlem. So we got everybody looked at Harlem for leadership. So I came to how are we gonna block this? All this constant. If it's not gun violence, it's drugs. If it's those are the two I consider them state-sponsored crimes. Those are the two main ones over my 30 years that they seem to lock us up the most on is drugs and guns. I remember when guns were just a misdemeanor. Now they're a felony of the first degree in a lot of situations. So I did, thought about this movement. We need a movement like we had back in the day, the Negro movement back in like the Harlem Renaissance. So I said I've been thinking about it, and I would go into more detail about that. And also one of the things, some power that we've never had, and me being a student of history, is that we've never ever talked about a movement to get black people on juries. If we were to have a movement to get black people on jury, we could cut down a lot of this incarceration. Seriously. Black people have the power to say not guilty, but we don't even utilize that power. What we have to train and what I'm going to do, because I ain't lead nothing no more. I'm too old. I can hardly lead myself upstairs. But black, young black people, if they understand and get involved with the jury system, we can stop mass incarceration. We can. Because you have the same power as a judge when you get on the jury. You can say not guilty. And then there's this young man, brilliant young man named, I was talking about black people don't run from the jury box. He said, run to the jury box. The Panthers, the Black Panthers is where I originally picked this up because point 9 of the Black Panther 10-point program. I remember that when I was a teenager and I was going through things and I said, oh, that sounds, damn, get on the jury. What's wrong? Yo, why has our people ever there's been a movement for us to get on the jury? Well, like everything else, I guess, they always have resisted. White America's always felt that only white people should be judges in this, should judge crime, and like they should run everything, just like they ran the juries in the North and the South years ago, and they still running them today, really. They rush to the jury box, go down there, let's see if we can find a nigga guilty. A lot of them, and not everybody, but a lot of them. I know people gonna say, "Oh, there's a lot of not guilties in juries." Yeah, okay, there's a lot of guilties too. Matter of fact, they don't even like for black people to even talk about a jury because it would interrupt mass incarceration. But I think once this whole thing about juries come out and how we can participate in it, but going back to this young man named Shorty, I'm sitting at the table talking about this concept, and Shorty said, "You need not only a movement to get black people on juries, but you need a movement to have black people say not guilty." I said, "Oh, I even like that. I like that even a lot better." Think about it. We have the same ability as a judge. When you get on a jury, you have the same ability to say not guilty. And you can do it at any, like, white folks didn't have no problem with saying not guilty when they brought it, they murder a black man hanging. 5 or 6 of them grab a black man, let's hang this nigga in the courtroom, in the central part of the city. Let's hang him from the courthouse. And everybody watch them do it. And they just say, they have a jury trial and the jury say not guilty. They don't care. Not guilty. You know what I mean? We have that same ability on a lot of crimes to say not guilty, particularly when they want to put us in jail for mere possession. I know when my next door neighbor got sent to 2 to 4 years in prison for a case, and he didn't even he was a convicted felon, but he got locked out of it. He was in his backyard. He locked himself out of the backyard. He had some old rusty gun back there looking at it. Walking to the front door, cops stopped him, and he said, "No, I just live right here. I was just going around locking myself out." And, "Oh, you got this little piece of gun here." Didn't work, couldn't work. They gave that man 2 to 4 years in prison. That's not right. He should have took a jury trial, and if he had a jury pool of black people, they could have said not guilty. That's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the movement. I'm talking about a lot of other things we're going to talk about more. But right now, I want you all to think about, this is not for dumbass niggas. This is for people that think, that have the ability to think. I want you all to lead this movement, but we need a movement to rebuild our community, particularly the black men community, because they have been hard on black men. It's like I said, it's like a slave auction house. You know, everybody assumes you're guilty by looking at you as a black man.